Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We're going to talk Browns, we're going to talk Cavs and Indians, and we're going to talk a lot of Browns tonight. We'll talk some Cavs and Indians too, and other sports. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question: what Major League Baseball player holds the record for most Grand Slams in one inning? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. The Cavs beat the Phoenix Suns tonight at home at Quicken Loans Arena, 111-98. C.D. Osman led the way with 19 points. Kevin Love had 16 points. Ante Cizak had 15 points, and Jordan Clarkson had 14 points. And Cavs fared out well against the worst team tonight. There's 1 week until the NFL Combine and a few weeks until the start of the NFL's new league year, and we have 2 weeks until NFL free agency gets underway, but there's still plenty to talk about with the Browns. Dan Lambie and Mary Kay Cabot and Scott Patsko of Cleveland.com asked four would you questions. Now, here are the 4 questions. Here's what the 4 questions are. Would you trade for Odell Beckham Jr.? And would you trade Duke Johnson? Would you keep Jamie Collins? And how would you address the backup quarterback? Okay. For number 1, my answer was I would trade for Odell Beckham Jr. If the right trade came along. I like him, and I feel he would be very competitive with this Browns team. But I feel the Browns would have to make a few sacrifices to make the trade. But I feel they should not sacrifice any draft picks to make the trade, should it happen. Now, there is connections there, and the Browns are predicted to make a trade for him if the Giants should want to trade him. So, I feel they should make Duke Johnson a slot receiver. Now, the question is how much this trade is going to cost, and that's a big question in itself. And Dorsey knows what he's doing. And we will keep you posted on whether this is going to happen or not. I'll keep you posted. Now, my friend, would you trade for Duke Johnson? And it's yes and no with me. I would trade Duke Johnson, but yet I wouldn't. I say this because Duke Johnson put up a lot of big numbers during the 2018 season. And I feel the Browns should hang on to Duke Johnson unless there's going to be a trade move within other teams in the NFL. Now, I don't know if this should go through. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I feel Johnson made some big plays as well and put up some big numbers. Now, I just got to say that he is a vital part of this team, but they need a good offensive tackle and a good defensive tackle. The offense needs the most work by far. And with the Browns having the 17th pick overall in the draft, I do feel that they should not give up make any sacrifices for draft picks. They should not sacrifice any of those. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, for number 3, would you keep Jamie Collins? I said I would keep Jamie Collins. He made a few big plays during the 2018 season and put quite a few big-time numbers as well up on the board as well. And I feel Collins is very competitive and a vital part of this Browns team. And he really could come out and have a breakout year. But it's the offense that needs to work, and they've got to find some guys that can help Myles Garrett out because he's a vital part of this team as well, and that's what they need. Now, and I'll keep you posted on it. Now, for the last one, how would you address the backup quarterback? That's the other one. Tyrod Taylor had a few good starts in the early part of the season, but then Tyrod got injured in the Thursday night game against the New York Jets, and that's when Baker Mayfield took over as the starting quarterback for the rest of that game and the rest of the season. And Taylor became the backup due to his injury. Now, he did put up some decent numbers during the early part of the regular season and made some big plays. But I felt there were some plays he faltered on, and especially the game against the Oakland Raiders, which I felt was a game that they should have won. The Browns should have won. I feel at this point Taylor is going to remain as the Browns' backup quarterback, besides the third string and the fourth string quarterbacks that they have, and quarterback to Baker Mayfield, because he has been recovering from the injury which kept him sidelined for a good portion of last season, and he was also rehabilitating as well. And I mean, he did practice, and I just feel he's a better backup than a starting QB, and I feel that's where they're going to keep him. I don't think that I mean, if they would trade him, they would have to find a really better backup, a good backup quarterback, if they would trade him to get something for him, or something for the offense. But we'll get back to talking Browns in just a sec. But the Indians spring training workouts continue today, and Goodyear, and on Saturday they will have their first at Goodyear in Goodyear, Arizona. Excuse me. And on Saturday, they will have their first exhibition game of the exhibition season, and against the Cincinnati Reds. And the first pitch is at 1:05 on SportsTime Ohio. Excuse me. Adam Plutko will take the mound will face the Reds and take the mound as the Tribe's starting pitcher for the spring training opener. Plutko was 4-5 last year with an ERA of 5.28. Within 17 games and 12 starts. So we'll see what happens. And Frank Cohen, he wants to keep Kluber and the other pitchers wait until they reach the 50 pitch game amount. So hopefully they will get to pitch, but not right now. But they will, hopefully. Well, we'll get back to the Browns and the possible trade for Odell Beckham in just a sec. But right now, it is time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What MLB player holds the record for most Grand Slams in one inning? And if you said Fernando Tatis, you are correct. On April 23rd, 1999, Fernando Tatis became the only player to hit two Grand Slams in the same inning. In the process, he also set a Major League record with 8 runs batted in a single inning. And I have another trivia question on my next broadcast, so stay tuned for that. Now, getting back to the Browns' possible trade for Odell Beckham Jr., and the big question is what would it cost? And the big question is the potential cost of Odell Beckham Jr. worth it for the trade for Odell Beckham? Now, the Browns are potentially one of the teams predicted as a landing spot if the New York Giants decide to trade wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. this offseason. Now, Beckham's former LSU teammate and Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry has made it known that he wants Beckham in Cleveland. The connections are there, and Beckham worked out with, and Beckham should it work out with several Browns players last offseason, fueling the speculation that he wants to become a Cleveland Brown. Basically, what it all comes down to is the cost of a potential trade for Odell Beckham Jr. worth it. I feel a trade for Odell Beckham is potentially worth it if the right connections are there and can be made, as long as the Browns don't sacrifice any potential draft picks in the first round with the 17th pick overall they have, or in the second or third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds. Now, I got to tell you, I just feel this could potentially happen, but you never know. Well, we're going to have to wait and see what happens if the Giants are going to potentially decide to trade Odell Beckham Jr. Well, I think it might be worth it, so I'll keep you posted on that. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back with another podcast tomorrow. So until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.